Hello, I'm Paul O'Kelly, editor of dublinchampion.ie, and here's my look at Saturday's papers. First, a couple of questions for you. How would you like to be joined at your morning breakfast cereal by serial killer Charles Manson? Second question, if that old Sicilian defence doesn't work for you, might you serious chess players consider poisoning your opponents? And finally, which would you prefer? The husband who opens a back garden to all and sundry but cannily charges 40 quid ahead of the gate, or the one who turns your green lawns into a vast plastic Jurassic Park? The latter and his very tolerant wife fill page 19 of The Sun. Sadly, however, even in the silly season, we have to get serious. The Sun has the best coverage of the Stardust compensation story. 24 million redress for families is the strapline, with the cover headline, 500,000 for each life. And in the Sun's report on pages 6 and 7, we see the Stardust families holding photographs of loved ones with the tragic reminder they never came home. Anti-immigrant rioting continues, but yesterday, finally, and quite suddenly, the mood changed, at least up north. The Mail runs with anti-hate marchers face down rioters in Belfast, while the Belfast-based Irish News offers United Front Against Racism. Inside, the North's first black mayor, Lillian Senoy Barr, takes aim at the North's politicians. Instead of investing in communities, they have chosen to deflect blame onto immigrants, sowing division and hate, she says. Then we move on to the budget. You know, that old trick where voters presumed to be soft in the head are bought off with their own money. The Irish Times headline forecasts significant income tax cuts and lump sum payments. The latter it predicts in the form of a big Christmas bonus. The Independent looks at plans to offer a special $750 income tax credit to the under-25s, in a bid, the paper says, to stop them emigrating as soon as they graduate. In the Irish Times weekend supplement, the brilliant David McWilliams tracks the decline of Parliament Street since its glory days in the early 1990s, when he and many others lived there. Town nowadays, he complains, too many offices, too few flats. The ratio, he writes, of residential to office needs to be flipped in favour of homes and by legislation, adding an attack on Airbnb and short-term leases. And yes, he says, blunt instruments that favour residents over tourists are essential. In the tabloids, there's more great writing, with the fearless Natasha Winnerzik investigating the holiday trade in pink cocaine. That's in the Star. Incidentally, that same story, also by Natasha, appears in a remarkably similar form in the Daily Mirror, complete with the same photos and graphics. Apparently, the new drug, sometimes sold under the name Tusi, is now all over Ibiza, with its deadly mixture of MDMA, ketamine and cocaine. All the papers feature Rashida Adeleke, just out of the medals in the 400, but the Mirror goes big with the silver lining, promising relay chance for Adeleke, with the punning headline, "Go for it, girls," that's F-O-U-R. On page 49 of the Star, we meet that quartet, Kelly McRory, Phil Healy, Sophie Becker and Charlene Mausley. Fab Four will have Adeleke, we are told, but that's a bit of a puzzle because nowhere do we learn which one of them will make way for the girl from Tala. And finally, food. Pay your €40 and you get as many carrots, spuds and onions as you can carry away from John Graham's garden in Ballyholey, County Donegal. Half these children, John tells the Mirror, have never seen a vegetable growing in the ground. Cue the paper's puns about going back to your roots. But if you want to add a cup of coffee, watch out. Even as that morning hit jump-starts your heart, the blood it pumps will be chilled by the breakfast time sight of serial killer Charles Manson. Don't believe me. Here, if I can find it, because it's down here with the other Star story, is the deadly proof on page 25 of the Star. There he is. That's Manson, and that's his doppelganger in the bottom of a cup of coffee. Can you see it? It's him for sure. No question about it. So presumably you prefer your cereal without the killer. No problem. Finally, and just as dangerous, if not more so, is the quiet chess player Amina Abakarova. This Russian chess champion felt she needed something more deadly than the old 4 nights opening. So last week, at a tournament in southern Russia, she smeared her rival's chess pieces with poison. This unorthodox opening move and the poor opponent's collapse were fortunately captured on CCTV, and Amina is now in jail. Last week we brought you the Irish Times feature on chess players in Dublin's Gonzaga College. Well, just a quick update. Since last Saturday, Gonzaga have recorded several victories, the odd stalemate, and I'm happy to report few, if any, homicides. We'll be with you with Sunday's papers tomorrow. Please like, subscribe and comment, and go ahead, buy yourself a daily newspaper.